Yeah, I just wanna be the greatest.
This week's video is brought to you by Patreon show sponsor, The Third Era. Not only does he have his own YouTube channel, he's got a brand new website, thethirdera.com, where you can purchase custom t-shirts, custom stickers, all kinds of cool stuff. I will leave links in the description below. Make sure to check out thethirdera.com. It's your boy HifiVega back again, and today we're going to test a Rockford Fosgate Power 800.2. This is a highly sought after dyno. We haven't seen it yet, and I know a few of you are ready to see what this thing will actually do. Before we get to that, I want to tell you a little bitty secret. Are you ready for this secret? Let's get close. I don't want no one to hear. The Rockford Fosgate Power Series is no different than the regular series in many aspects. Okay, now that we know that secret, I think we should go ahead and test the Power 802 and see what kind of power it actually does. We'll try it at different impedances, including 2 ohms mono, to see if we get that legendary Rockford Fosgate performance.
Rage on that beat, going crazy.
First up is the 8 ohm mono test. This is the 4 ohm stereo equivalent. We are using a 40 hertz track. It is rated 200 watts by 2 at 4 ohm stereo. So in this run, we're looking for 400 watts. Okay, we got 556 watts at 14.32 volts, pulled 78.4 amps, making it 49% efficient. That's about 275 watts per channel. Not too bad at all. I want to run this 8 ohm mono test again, but this time I want to use a 1 kilohertz track and see if we get any more power. We are rated 200 watts by 2 at 4 ohm stereo, so we are looking again for 400 watts. Okay, surprisingly, we get a little less power at 538 watts. We are at the same voltage, roughly the same amperage, and the same efficiency. Now let's jump to the 4 ohm mono test. We are using the 40 hertz track, and this amp is rated 800 watts by 1. We got 811 watts at 14.2 volts, pulled 126 amps, making this 45% efficient at 4 ohms mono. We're going to run the same 4 ohms mono test. This time we'll use a 1 kilohertz track, and let's see if we get less power like we did in the original 8 ohm mono test. So we did get slightly less power at 789 watts at 14.1 volts. We pulled 132 amps, making it 42% efficient. We're going to go ahead and do a 2 ohm mono test using a 40 hertz track. This is not rated to handle a 2 ohm load, but I did get permission from Chaz to go ahead and do that. So I'm going to use the 40 hertz track, even though that is harder on amps. We know that this amp actually performs better on a 40 hertz track, so there's nothing left to do but full send, I guess. Let's see what it does. All right, we got 866 watts at 12.8 volts, like a big dummy. I left my clamp set to AC current, so let me switch that. We'll run it back and get an official full run at 2 ohms mono. We ended up with 881 watts at 13.5 volts, pulled 170.8 amps, making it 38% efficient. At these lower impedances, you're obviously going to kill your efficiency. The thing is, this amp, unlike a lot of Rockford Fosgate amps, didn't make a bunch of power at lower impedances. I'm going to add a few clips in from the old school stereo run that I did, where I compare this amp directly to an older Rockford Fosgate 225.2, and you can see the numbers are pretty comparable. Completely sealed up. Obviously that's sealed. Sealed here. We're sealed up here. And let me go ahead and show you the amp again just so you can verify. It is the Rockford Fosgate. These amps are on, but nothing else. The RCAs are not plugged into them. And you can see the power LED on the Rockford Fosgate. So. All right, the first run that I did was on the 800.2. That put me in the 251 to 500 watt power class. I got a 138.4. The next amp that I'm going to try is the Punch 225.2 around and show you that all the windows are sealed here. And I'm using the Rockfield K9s again. Meter up on the dash, as you can see right there. So, let me jump in and see what kind of power we get here. All right, I'm back with my final thoughts, and like all Rockford Fosgate amps, this amp does do what it's rated. You can always count on that on a Rockford Fosgate amp, but this amp in particular didn't exceed its ratings by much at all, and that's kind of come to be expected by Rockford Fosgate. But I mean, can you really be mad at that, because it does do the power it's rated? So this one is not like some of the other Rockford Fosgate amps, namely the Punch 225.2, which almost does as much power as this Power 802. That's why my SPL numbers were very close in the old school shootout. I put some footage in of that so you can just see for comparison on the same load, same subwoofer, same everything, and it was only about a decibel off. That being said, I didn't include a real true sound demo of this amp because I've tested many Rockford Fosgate amps. I've done sound demos on those and they all sound pretty good. I don't think that this amp is any different in that aspect whatsoever. So what did you think about this amp? Were you expecting more power? Did you kind of know that this actually only done its rated power? I know that there's expectations of a Rockford Fosgate amp doing much more power than it's rated, and this is one of the ones that kind of falls short, and I was warned by the man himself, Derek from Williston Audio Labs, that these did not exceed the ratings like many other amps in the Rockford Fosgate series. So once again, Big D was right. That being said, I hope you did enjoy this video, and if you like this kind of content, please, like the video, subscribe, share, do all that type of stuff. If you're not subscribed, go ahead and hit that subscribe button, hit the little bell. I truly would appreciate it, and I think I will catch you guys on the next video. I'd like to thank all my Patreon supporters, but I want to give a special shout out to the $6 or more members: 2001 Monolithic, The Third Era, G Nava, Joaquin Juarez, El Fuego, Travis McClendon, Brandon Hanna, William Berg, Boxboy Audio Sound Solutions, Jesus Tires, Orion the Great, Chris Hanley, Dennis Cromwell Jr., Vin Quach, Scott Dilbick, D Stewart, Derek Simpson, and Aaron Waltz. For as little as $2 a month, you can join the team and get Patreon exclusive content. I'm trying to reach my goal of $200 a month so I can do an exclusive podcast only for Patreon supporters. If you want to help me out, I am only $20 away from that goal. So check me out at patreon.com/HifiVega. Don't leave just yet, because I picked out a video specifically for you and you can click on it right here.